Are you a chapstick guy?
Oh, have you got some?
No, I don't.
Oh, I fucking love it.
That's what I'm devastated about.
Yeah, no, I'm the poor. Too bad.
Oh, it's 4 o'clock somewhere.
Ooh, it's that time of year, mate. It's that time of year. It's that time of day. It's 4 o'clock. Welcome to 4 o'clock somewhere, everyone.
Yeah.
Mate, there's no wasting time today. Fan of the week, Renata Wisman. Oh. Renata, thanks for being there since day dot. You've been around a long time now. Thanks for always getting in amongst everything. We notice you. Thank you for everything you showing us, your support. Appreciate it, Renata.
Yeah, wonderfully
Put?
Wonderfully, what am I trying to say here?
Wonderful fan?
Yeah, she's awesome.
All right, well, let's get into it, mate. Last week, what was it, Friday, went to Marty and Michael's live show, their season end live show of their podcast.
I know, you sounded pretty whipped up and excited, mate.
But also got me thinking about this podcast. I'm like, do we need to be whipping each other and just causing each other pain and like to get it? I don't know. It made me think, I don't know if I can do a live show. They're just hectic. I love those boys, but man, are they just on another level.
There is nobody that I have seen that gives more to their audience.
Yeah.
Let me just say that first. They're absolutely committed to delivering the best possible show and the best
painful, disgusting, most.
If anybody listening to this, if you haven't tuned in or subscribed to Mike and Marty, do it. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. And to me, it's world-class content on the Jackass level. In fact, I reckon they kind of pip the Jackass boys. I think they're better.
Some of the stuff they do is just proper crazy. But no, shout out to Marty and Michael. That you guys did an amazing job on that night. I was very impressed. The turnout to start with, there would have been 400, 500 people there, I reckon.
Mate, it was huge.
Huge at the Princess Theatre, packed out the place. Just a good time. From the get-go, they nailed the intro. They had this video stuff, got everyone hyped, and so when they came on, the energy was just there. And boys, you nailed it. It was inspiring.
Can I just ask, how long have you known the boys?
Oh, long time. Maybe 2017.
Yeah, okay.
7, 8 years, maybe.
Can I tell you the day that I met them, when I went with you you were doing a podcast with them, and you sort of said, if you're doing nothing, you really should come and meet these guys. And I really had nothing on. I left the 3 children.
Mate, you never have anything.
I left the 3 children with the wife and tagged along. And from the minute they opened their front door, they're both 6'2" plus, big men. It felt like they're just constantly giving you a big hug.
Yeah, very down to earth boys. And as crazy as they are, they're 2 of the most awesome dudes you could get around.
Yeah, I mean the whole team's quite amazing. Matty and
James?
James, yeah, the whole lot. And having said that, we moved on, and then they interviewed both of us, and
I think they felt sorry for you. It's like, sit down, Tony. Grab a mic, mate.
Yeah. But they're quite wonderful. I'm really happy for their success, and but yeah, again, I saw a bit of that live past live shows that they've done, and mate, they're unique.
Yeah. Well, here's a photo from from them on stage. Look, and you can see how packed the place was, and just a great night. We went to a bit of an after party just up the road at a bar there, and just a good time. So good on you, Marty and Michael. Thanks for having us along, and you guys nailed it.
Unbelievable.
But on another note, mate, big day for me tomorrow.
What are you pregnant?
Yeah, I got a
finally
little hospital visit. Oh, yes, pregnant. No,
talk to me. What's happening?
Wisdom teeth are coming out.
Oh no.
Yeah, got to be put under for this one too, because my wisdom teeth are kind of weird. They're like not growing out of my gum.
Yeah,
they're growing. They're staying in my gum, but they're growing towards my other teeth, and so they're growing towards nerves and that. And dentist said, look, mate, you're better off getting them out ASAP, because if they get anywhere close to touching that nerve or those other teeth, you're in a world of pain. So
wow.
Tomorrow's a big day. Two big ones down the bottom. I've got one up top as well, but they're leaving that for now. But 2 bottom ones coming out tomorrow. So
the fact that you're going into the hospital means they're going to knock you out.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's heavy.
Yeah,
that's hardcore.
Yeah, it's crazy. Not just one of the ones you sit in the chair and they take it out. They're like, no, knocked out for this one, proper surgery one. I'm like, great.
That's unbelievable.
That's not what I expected to be hearing last week.
Well, it's kind of perfect timing for Halloween, right?
Yeah, it turns out tomorrow is Halloween, and we're planning to go trick or treating. So I'm going to get out of hospital. I think I get out. I think I'll be right to leave hospital at about 3.
Yeah.
and then it's straight into trick or treating that night. So I'm probably going to have a swollen up face, have a face mask on, or whatever.
Yeah, well,
I'll be dressed up, mate. I won't need to do anything.
I was going to suggest you go as one of the Ninja Turtles.
High on painkillers,
But now you just go as the Elephant Man. You'll fit right in. That's crazy, mate. Two wisdom teeth done under anaesthetic.
Yeah, all happening tomorrow. Usually these things I thought take a while. I went to see the specialist. What was it on last Thursday or Friday?
Yeah,
and and they're like, and I was like, thinking, oh yeah, it'll be like a few months to get in for this surgery or whatever. I was like, oh yeah, what sort of timeline are we looking at? They're like, oh, well, we can do next Thursday or 2 weeks after that. There's a couple of days. I'm like, what? So here we are. It's all happening tomorrow. But yeah.
Oh well,
bit of my wisdom is going to be taken away tomorrow.
Mate, I had wisdom teeth taken out, but mine was simple. They pulled out and
did you have to go under?
No. The dentist basically just went in, out.
Yeah.
They didn't even bleed. Like there was a bit of blood at the start, but a bit of cotton wool they put in for.
Obviously, not too much wisdom in them, eh?
No, I don't. I don't carry a lot of wisdom. Don't worry about that.
How long ago was that? Ages?
I don't know. Years. Yeah, a couple of years ago. Yeah. So yeah, good on you. I
So,
wish you luck.
Yeah, bit nervous, but yeah, that's all happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween as well, everyone.
Maybe get a
Hope
penis.
you got out and had a good time.
Yeah. Maybe maybe you should get a penis extension while you're in there.
I've already had 2. Got my 3rd. See, you have to wait at least 2 years in between them. So
okay.
I'm up to number 3. I think in February or March.
Yeah, I don't think you have to wait in Turkey. Just get on a plane and get it done. Stop mucking around.
All right. Well, we've got a big episode. We're going there. We're becoming political for the day. But look, it's just you can't ignore this. It's the US election. I know we're in Australia and we shouldn't care, but the fact of the matter is, whatever happens in the US, unfortunately, just gets drifted all over the world. And us here in Australia, we do nothing but coattail the US. So everything that goes on in the US absolutely has a big part of.
Yeah, I think you can look at us as uneducated professionals when it comes to politics.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, look, in the comments, we'll get to the comments. A lot of people have. It seems that they've swayed from say 50-50 a while ago. Now it's a heavy 80-20.
See, that's the thing. I don't know what all of these polls are.
Yeah.
What was it? Just this morning, just before we started recording, I was looking at what's the latest polls, and this stuff just shifts on the daily. Like now it's 49%, 49% Trump, 48% Harris. I'm like, where do they get these polls from? And then you can go into something like, was it Poly Market, I think it was?
Well, one thing we do know is we're within the week, less than a week.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
by the time this comes out, we're two days away or 3 days away by
Yeah.
the time this podcast is out. But see, you come on to this one. This is Polymarket 2024 election forecast, 66.6% on Trump. Bad number. And 33.5 on Harris. So that's looking good for me. Because I'm
Yeah.
not going to lie. I want Trump to win, 100%.
Yeah, look, I get when it comes to politics, like we're an entertainment podcast, but this
So we keep saying, but we keep going there, don't we?
well, mate, this is going to have a huge impact on the world.
Yeah.
On the world, and so we can't certainly can't deny that. And so everybody should at least have some sort of opinion. I mean, there's people that have no opinion and don't care, and I don't blame you too. Look, there's not one politician on the earth that I think is worth their salt. For some reason, they all rub me the wrong way.
They're all full of shit in some way or another.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, they're all full of poo. I'm cutting out the swear words.
Well,
Man, we are getting hammered on YouTube. Guys, can you help us out? Just hit that like button down below. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Turn those notifications on because we are being flagged a bit on YouTube at the moment. All of our content is being pushed to limit, and I can tell you where it all started.
The comments.
No, the Reese Bros.
Oh, the Reese
Reese
brothers.
Bros episode. And I know
Yeah.
why. Those boys swear a lot, and it's flagged our channel.
Yeah, there are a few F words.
So that episode, I think, particularly has been not pushed out. So if you haven't checked out the Reese Bros episode, I'll leave a link down in description because, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Love those boys.
Yeah.
But they're swearing goddess, mate.
I wonder where the Reese brothers sit on the US election. Do you think they don't give a shit?
Should we give them a call?
Yeah, go on. I can tell you now, they don't care.
Nah, let's not bother.
But having said that, we're here now, and the person that wins this election is going to be the most powerful person on the planet. Personally, I am now leaning and looking at Donald Trump. Everything just seems to make... I just can't stand that Kamala Harris. I mean... she's got the most giggly, gaggly laugh.
I cannot stand that. She's the most disingenuous person in any of these things. Everything she says or does just looks planned.
Yeah, it's not. There's nothing sincere about her.
No, not at all.
At all. And let's point out the fact. The fact is that she is and was the most unpopular vice president in the history of America, and she was wingman to Joe Biden's ridiculous rules and regulations.
Probably the worst president in history.
Yeah, and all the things he did wrong, and then all of a sudden he
Allegedly worst president in history.
Yeah, that's
allegedly. Apparently.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know, yeah. We could be wrong. Our sources are probably wrong, but I think the people say that it was the worst in history.
Yeah.
You'll hear that word a lot today, allegedly.
and yet she was wingman to all that. I can't see how he wasn't even turning up to answer questions from journalists, and then he obviously gets booted out of the race or voted out by his own team. She comes in with only months to go, running at a less popular level than Joe Biden. How all of a sudden can she be even in contention? And she hasn't been doing, compared to Donald Trump, hardly any public appearances. She's not really putting forward her point of view on some of the major issues. She didn't care about immigration, it seemed, for such a big part of Joe Biden's reign, and yet that seems to be one of the biggest problems that America are faced with. So I just can't see how she could get voted in. I can't even see how it's even as close as they say it is.
I don't think it's close at all. And I don't know where these polls come from, but, well, you can see it from our comments. We did a little one, which we'll get into soon, just on our Facebook, seeing where people sit. I would say easily 95% of people are saying Trump. I'm like... That's just based on, where is this other stuff coming from? I don't believe a second of, maybe this 66% one, but I don't know where all this stuff comes from. But it seems like Wall Street's all betting on a Trump victory and stuff is getting priced in for that. So I think it's going to go Trump's way.
Well, you have to look at the fact when he was president, he ran the country very well.
Yeah.
You know, he really did. Inflation was down, employment was down. A lot of manufacturing.
Employment or unemployment?
Both. Yeah, both.
Employment and unemployment. People were just deciding. I'm not employed. I'm not unemployed.
I did start by saying we are uneducated professionals. So unemployment's down. Manufacturing was up. And his stance on how to deal with other world leaders was quite amazing. And the fact that he's already been there, he knows, I think he's going to be even better this time around. He's already eyed off the people he's going to have running certain positions. So from taking it from a non-biased point of view, you would think, well, that makes absolute sense. Yeah. Whereas she's coming from a pretty dark brown, stained, smelly sort of a background. I don't know what I meant by that.
Was that allegedly racist?
I'll take back that smelly. I'll keep in the brown. I'll take out the smelly.
Because she does think she's pretty black, doesn't she? What is she?
Well, she was a prosecutor, right?
No, what is her? Because I was just watching an interview before, and she blatantly said, I'm not just getting to vote because I'm black. I'm like, you're black? Like, what's her background?
I don't know, because she changes her accent quite often. So she could be anywhere. She could be Polynesian. She could be Mexican. She could be Australian. She could be Cherokee. She's got that Indian look about her, don't you think?
Identified as a biracial woman is either a strength or weakness, depending on whom you ask. Well, she identifies as biracial.
But what does that mean?
Mate, within 50 years, we're all going to be biracial.
Yeah.
The way everyone's everyone at the moment.
No, I can relate.
Harris is mixed race, authentic, black or Asian identities. What? Does she even know what she is?
It's so grey, isn't it?
Like, why aren't you calling yourself Asian? Either way, she doesn't seem like she can handle stress and pressure as well as Trump. Trump's been through a wild ride through his life. He can handle the pressure and high intensity sort of situations.
I like what Joe Rogan said, and that is people have had enough and sick to death of politicians that come across with that same old politician rhetoric.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and people can see through it. They can see you are talking absolute crap. Where he sort of complimented Trump by saying, "But you're not that guy," and it's kind of what endears you to people. Now, let's be honest. This isn't a pop. This isn't a. Look, we're not voting on Trump or Kamala Harris to be Facebook friends. We've got to look at their policies and what they're going to bring to the people. So if you can see past some of the stuff that people might not like about Trump, I actually don't mind it. Dribbles on a bit, but it's all good. But what he stands for is solid as a rock.
Yeah.
And he's not hiding behind anything. He can get out
Kamala has drifted all over the place over the last couple of years.
all over
over.
the place. And
Yeah.
she's still drifting, by the way. But Trump can stand there and ad lib. In fact, that's what he does for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. No problem at all. He's very comfortable in who he is and what he represents.
Yeah.
Whereas she, it seems, isn't doing any press conferences, won't really answer questions. So that in itself has to ring bells, right?
And I find it so. You mentioned Joe Rogan. We got to mention the fact 30 million views in the first day on that. However, just yesterday, Joe Rogan posted to his Twitter.
So 30 million views in the first day. So where's it at now? It'd be pushing 40, I guess.
Yeah, it's in high 30s. Here we go. Since there's an issue with searching for this episode on YouTube, here's the full podcast with Trump, posting it on Twitter. So this episode with Trump has been suppressed. Still 30 million views in a day, but it's still suppressed. And you know what? I did notice it as well. When it came out, I went to search for it, and it took me a couple of minutes to actually find it. And I remember thinking, I'm like, is this just mine? Like, why couldn't I find this so easy? But then he posted that. I was like, wow, it wasn't everyone thing. It's been hidden. Not only that, 30 million views in a day did not make it to the trending page whatsoever.
Doesn't that say a lot when it comes to
Like, call me conspiracy, but
manipulation of the media? I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been an issue for Trump because it's the media and social media companies are owned by a select few.
Yeah.
It's been quite obvious that they sort of have been wavering on the blue side as opposed to the red side. And that's just another sign that they are.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that one's blatantly obvious.
Whether it be
it's
social media
not
platforms,
on trending page and it's being suppressed. People can't search for it properly. All they're getting is reaction videos to it and stuff.
Yeah.
They'll probably find this podcast. Maybe this is our make or break moment.
Well,
I found that interesting. But have you watched that podcast yet? With Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I did. It's
great. It was good.
It is very, very good. And there's a reason, I guess, why Joe would have him on at this point, because obviously Joe hasn't always been a Trumpy, but certainly is now. It seems. But look, Donald's had that problem right across the board with newspapers, social media platforms, media outlets. I mean, he's been up against it for years and years and years. And there's a time there where he was the celebrity.
Yeah.
Celebrities loved him before he got into politics.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he gets into politics, celebrities now can't stand him, which means nothing because we don't even like celebrities, depending on the celebrity. But it's because they're all blue.
I do like Kevin Hart. He's a legend.
Oh,
you're going to say something bad about Kevin Hart now, aren't you?
No, I'm just laughing at everything that's coming out connected to the old did he do it? Diddly squat.
Yeah,
he seems to be.
Let's leave Diddy alone.
Yeah, let's not go there. But, because they're all Democrats, all the elites of Hollywood, and Trump is basically on the other side now, So it's just interesting to watch all that pan out.
Sorry. And you even look at the vice presidents. JD Vance, or what's his name? Tim Walz. JD Vance, I just, all you have to do is look at them. I trust JD Vance a lot more.
Yeah.
And what you've heard about, what was the story about Tim Walz's accolades as in his military service or something where it wasn't true and he's lied about that sort of stuff?
Yeah, well, Tampon Tim, the king of stolen valor, is what they're calling
Stolen
him.
valor, that's the word, yeah.
First of all, JD Vance just has beautiful eyes.
Maybe that's what got me.
Yeah, that blue.
No, he speaks very well. You can tell he's a very smart guy.
Well, he hails from Yale and his background is quite amazing. We should sort of bring it up and read it out. But he's a wonderful speaker, incredibly smart, and there's a reason why Trump chose him. And I think it's quite obvious when you see him. You see him in the vice president debate. He was, he was good. He was on point. Where then you got old Tim Walz, and he's copying it from all angles. And his background, if I'm just reading articles, he hasn't been
say it.
He hasn't been a very good leader.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Go on.
Allegedly. I mean, and those articles could be wrong.
Yeah.
They could be wrong. Yeah, the two just don't feel good together.
Yeah. But we're not gonna dribble too much on our side. We want to have a conversation with the people. I think that's a bit more important today. Let's have a conversation with what people are saying about it. And we did put the question out. So what's the verdict?
What's the verdict?
Yeah.
So this week's what's the verdict is Trump or Harris. I'm sure you can guess. Trump or Harris, and why? Let us know your thoughts. We put that out on social media. Make sure you follow us on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and get amongst these conversations. We love hearing from you guys and having you guys part of the conversation.
Yeah,
So,
and do comment too, because we love reading the comments, and we also love to share the comments. And some of these comments on the Trump or Harris are really cool to read. A lot of effort's gone into them and a lot of thought.
all right. Well, when we did put this out, I did expect it to get a little heated in the comments, but it didn't really. To be honest, it's pretty. Like I said, about 90%, I reckon, is on one way. But let's see what the people have to say. Greg Richards, he says neither. That's the thing. A lot of politics, people don't like either side.
Yeah, I get when somebody says, well, I don't want to vote for either. Are they the best that the country has to offer? Well, they are the two that we're looking at.
Rachel Vella, Harris. Maybe I feel the same way that most do. Not that I think assassination is the answer to keeping him out there. Maybe I feel the same way that most do. I don't know what she means by that.
Well, you got to realise, old Trumpy, he's the survivor of two assassination attempts.
What was the second one? Obviously, everyone knows the first one. Was the second one, is that a bit more blown out of proportion?
It seems to be. Like if it was any...
Because there was no guns shot or nothing happened. Was it just something that... Is it the story where someone was pulled up like a few blocks away that was coming towards a rally or something and was armed?
It just seemed to be not as serious as the first one.
Attempted assassination is a big word to put on it, I think. But yeah.
Mate, can we be honest? It's hard to beat the first one.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. That's about as close as you get
Yeah.
to dying without dying.
Yeah, that's as close as you get to it being an attempt. Dennis Wilson also says neither. One is declared bankrupt on several occasions, but it's always the bank's money he loses and the poor workers who don't get paid. Okay, that's interesting. The other isn't worthy of the position and can hardly string a sentence together. He's been declared bankrupt throughout his life a few times, yes, but he's also become a billionaire off the back of that. He's got himself out, and guess what? America's in a pretty messed up financial state at the moment. Maybe he's a man that has some experience with digging yourself out of a grave.
Yeah, I mean, through troughs you learn.
Yeah.
I don't think being a bankrupt is the worst thing. He's obviously learned from those situations. He obviously employs thousands of people.
And if you can get off the back of that and become multi-billionaire, one of the richest people in the world, then guess what? I think that says a lot about you, and maybe you are good at those high
and also
intensity
says a lot
moments.
Yeah, absolutely. It says a lot about his resilience and his character and not giving up and wanting to win. I think Dennis is sort of focusing on the negative there. Maybe if we looked into that a little bit more, Dennis, it might not seem as obvious as your statement. But
yeah, and that comment does come up a lot. I don't know if it's come up a lot in this, but you hear it a lot. People saying, "Oh, he's failed in business." I'm like, guess what? Every single successful business person has failed many times before.
Yeah.
But it's what they do after it, and are they successful? So, hey, guess what? That experience might actually maybe get the States out of their giant mess that has been formed in the last few years.
Again, I think it's funny that people would focus on that as opposed to focusing on the 4 years he was in office running the country, how well he did.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't you think that would trump anything personal negative that he's been through?
And what is it, like in the last 4-year term, isn't it about 60 or 70% of all the money in the States has been printed in the last 4 years?
Oh, it's diluting the dollar.
Yeah, like that is, and no wonder everything's gone up. Like you're wondering why prices have doubled.
Yeah.
Because there's double the amount of money that's been printed to existence. Like
Yeah. As for Bitcoin, we want Trump in for Bitcoin. Is that the
JD Vance especially, but Trump and JD's showing that they're a bit more crypto sort of friendly. However, I don't think that it is a do or die. I think no matter what happens, crypto will it'll do its thing. Maybe in the very short term, I think it'll have a 2-day effect, maybe 3-day effect. Yeah. Even if Trump wins, we could be going up for the next 2 weeks, 10 days, whatever it is, and then Trump wins, just goes dumping for the 2 days. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to have too much of an effect. Getting rid of Gary Gensler on day one would definitely be nice, though.
Who's he? Gary?
Head of the SEC.
Okay. Bad guy, they say. Allegedly.
Well, yeah, well, he's just, you can see now they've just tried to really stifle the move forward in crypto. They're just trying to sue everyone left, right and center, charge them with all this stuff. They've lost to the XRP that many times now. They keep just appealing the most stupid things and dragging this thing on. It looks like it's about them just trying to drag it out. They know that they're not winning.
Just on that, does that make you nervous that this election might be stolen again?
Yeah, see, I do worry about the dodginess of
If
all of this
2020 was a stolen election, I'm not saying it was or wasn't, but
yeah,
there was some dodgy stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Dodgy stuff.
If Trump weren't to win, I'd be very shocked. And I think there would be some foul play. Like, I just don't see how Kamala could win. I just don't.
That's what makes me nervous.
Yeah. But then you see things like this Joe Rogan thing being suppressed.
Yeah.
And then just simple things like that. You just like, you can see how stuff gets...
And also for so long, they didn't care about immigration. Millions of people coming in from across the border. And then I believe Tim Waltz I'm not going to say names, I don't know, but obviously they want votes. Making it possible for illegals to vote and get driver's licenses.
Trump. Stephen Miles is a good example. The people have had enough of the pussy left government. Who's Stephen Miles?
I don't know, but he obviously is on the pussy left government. Right?
Yeah, I already don't like him. So Chris is for Trump, I presume. Reese Reed, Trump. He keeps the big nations in check, and the American military all respected him. His podcast with Rogan made me realize he's so much smarter than the media would have you believe. I agree with that. Harris is folding under pressure, and she's not even in yet. She's aged 15 years in the last 15 days.
Yeah, that's true. She is looking a bit haggard.
And she's been taking on the Joe Rogan one, Trump was saying. She's taken 4 days off here. It's like, this is peak, election campaign time. She's taken 4 days off here, has some interview with someone. She takes 2 days off to prepare for that interview. It's like, Trump is going back to back to back to back.
I think it takes him that long to sort of program the teleprompter.
Yeah, exactly.
Trump has worked 60 days straight.
Yeah.
Not bad for a 100-year-old.
Justin Sin replies to that. He says, what's strange about that is Trump brought in former American generals to be in his cabinet, including his chief of staff, and they all describe him as a threat to democracy and America. These are people he actually hired and worked with him, seasoned military leaders with years of experience. Are these the people that wrote a book and stuff years ago? Is this to do with the last presidency where Trump fired these people, then they got all dirty and flipped on him? So,
just because
you got fired from your role and you were dirty.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
They arced up. They probably got paid off, from the other side.
But that just sounds like a bitter employee, to be honest, being fired.
Sounds like sour grapes.
Melissa Slaggle, Trump. Why do you guys even ask this? I think it's important because one, I just didn't agree with the polls. I just wanted to do our own little poll in a way and see what the people are actually saying because I don't trust anything that's going out there now. Glenn Anthony. Who cares? American politics. If they took the same interest in Australian politics, I might take an interest. No, I do disagree with you there, Glenn. There is no reason to take interest in Australian politics because all they do is coattail off the American politics anyway.
Yeah,
our guys are pussies. They don't do nothing.
Oh, we get pushed around by England as well. We're under their banner.
Yeah.
Plus, we're a fart in the wind compared to America.
Yeah.
Ooh, got a lot of comments.
This one had 25 responses to that. Wow. Here we go. Luke Piddle. America runs the West. Whether you like it or not, I personally don't. And you should care. Do some educating and come back to me. Yeah, so sort of like what I was saying. America, like it or not, whatever happens there does have an effect here. And our guys coattail off everyone else. Our guys aren't writing our own policies. It's off the back of the monarch and America, basically, that controls our guys.
Controls the world.
Yeah. Anyway, we won't go into the 25 others of that. Sherry Elliott, get rid of the pussies.
Yes. Clean out the swamp, she's
More
saying.
dicks, she reckons.
Get rid of the bureaucrats, I think Trump wants to do.
Not enough dick in her town office.
Oh, would you say that?
Get rid of the pussies.
Yeah.
Is there too much pussy and not enough dick?
I don't know.
Let's get back to the politics.
What's that? Jeffrey Bedford. Trump all the way. Harris is a moron who gives me the screaming shits. Just looking at her and her voice and facial expression shits me even more. Yeah, me too. I have to say that.
When she tries to laugh, Oh,
Dan Reese. Oh, you're funny, Dan.
Oh,
Yeah,
here we
that's
go.
funny. Trump is working for Russia. That's been disproven, and that was an
Dan
absolute-
Reese, he's gone for Harris because Trump is working for Russia. 2 responses. Let's see.
Oh, they're gonna.
Prove it.
I think they've proved that that's crap.
Is it because that Trump talks to Putin? You know what they say, keep your enemies close.
No, they've kicked that out many years ago.
Yeah. That's the thing. The stories go what? Like, if this is what people end up basing their vote on, all of this sort of crap, then, man, it is... That's what I hate most about these elections. It's everyone just trying to create a bad story about the other person. It's not focusing on what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And look, both sides do this. It's not just the Harris side. Trump's guilty of it as well. They go to the presidential debate. I think we've spoken about this before. Yeah. And they both just shit on each other. It's like, well, can you stop just arguing with each other and name calling, basically?
Yeah.
And actually get back down to business and let's hear it?
Talk your policies, back your policies, and the positives and maybe the negatives of their policies, but keep the personal crap out
it's
of
like,
it.
stop just saying, you're bad because of this. And then she says, you're bad because of this. It's like, well, you get nowhere.
Having said that, I did like it when Trump said to Hillary Clinton, that's because you'd be in jail.
Nathan Davey, Harris should have a go. Trump has had a turn. I think it's a bit more about who's had a turn and who hasn't. Yeah. But let's keep going. Coupled with his charges, he is a goose. Okay. I think they need a fresh start and leave the geriatrics on the sidelines. You want a fresh start, but Harris has been vice president to an allegedly uncapable president for the last 4 years. Well, I wasn't surprised at all when all these charges were laid against Trump. It was like, well, 10 months out from an election, here we go. Let's mess up the entire campaign.
Yeah.
And try, like, there's been that many attempts to try and get him out of this election. Probably because they know he's going to win. Dwayne Hill, Trump, because Harris doesn't support the things I believe in. I'm all for a woman one day as president, but she definitely is not the one. I agree. Ryan Hausanger, there is enough said as to why and who we're all picking. As can tell in all the comments, not one single Harris comment, because we all know she's a communist and wants to control all of America's prices. Her price control plan is exactly the way a communist runs a nation. He's got a bit of a chart here. What do we got? Here we go. We'll put this up for you guys. Trump's last day in office, and it's just the percentages of inflation, gas, mortgage rate, average rent. And yeah, wow, 1.4% inflation to 9.1. Wow. Oh, the worst under Kamala, yeah.
If that's correct, it's up there.
To be fair, to make this fair, they probably should have said the worst under Kamala, the worst under Trump. That's probably the fairest way to do it, but yeah.
Yes. Oh, Tracy Gribble. Already voted for Trump because I'm sick of inflation. My daughter and grandkids forced to share their private spaces with men. Wars, Venezuela gangs taking over our cities, our kids being raped and murdered all over the country every single day by illegal aliens. This is the most fascist administration since Hitler, and I can't wait to kick them out of the White House. Trump 2024, make groceries affordable again.
Hashtag make groceries. I'm glad you read that. There was a lot of big words there. But yeah, that just got me thinking, how much has the world changed in the last 4 years? Think about how much this world has changed in the last 4 years.
Even in Australia.
It's crazy.
My wife says it all the time, how expensive it is to go food shopping.
Oh, yeah. Stupidity these days, yeah.
So, it's obviously being felt all around the world.
Oh, here we go. Renata Wisman, fan of the week. Shout out Renata again.
Renata.
Fan of the week. Trump, it's common sense. He's all for the people and he truly loves his country. Look what's happened over the last 4 years. Millions of immigrants allowed to enter and commit crimes such as rape and murders. Some of those were girls as young as 12. Crime is out of control. I can attest to that. While we were over there, LA is a mess right now. They keep sending millions to other countries as well as weapons. Why encourage war? And don't get me started on the alphabet community. They're sterilizing children, cutting off body parts, all in the name of gender-affirming care. It's sickening. Her agenda will ruin that country, and as a result, ours as well. She is fake AF. Trump is the real deal.
And that's why Renata is fan of the week.
Well said, Renata. What a comment. Yeah.
That is right on the money. It says a lot, and it's a lot of the issues that we sort of discuss, isn't it? You know, crime is out of control. Out of control in America.
Oh, it's stupid
in parts of America. But yeah, my big hate is sterilizing our children, gender identity.
Which Tim Walz takes a big stand on that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't he pass some law? Or we won't go into details, but he what was the thing he was doing?
Well, he's allegedly He supports schools being able to change a child's gender without any parental input at all.
Schools. Oh, yeah.
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 Can I just say that's on any grade level as well? Like that. That's,
What, as young as like 6 years old?
yeah, well, I guess so. And that's criminal.
They're just like that sort of stuff is just trying to stop control from parents. Like
That's
parents
criminal.
not being in control of their kids.
That's
like,
right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Trump, you better win that. Terry Shoemaker. Trump. Can you see how many Trump versus Kamala we've had? It's crazy. And these polls say it's split straight down the middle.
I like this. I like this one too. It's simple, and I think Terry Shoemaker is right on the money. Trump, because Americans have tired of Democratic BS.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been so silly in some of their comments over the years.
Natty Nat. Trump, because common sense, that's why. It's like that, eh?
Yeah.
I'm like, surely. It's just common sense.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here's
Oh,
something
here we
interesting.
go. Here's the list for us dummies.
Andrew Reese. Scissors, paper, rock. Who reads it? Scissors, paper, rock.
Yes.
Means you weird.
Okay, Andrew Reyes. Trump Vance 2024. All right, he's a MAGA.
I do like Vance. I
I think he's good too. Okay, so what do we got? We got lower cost of living under Trump. We got clean, safe cities under Trump because he's pro police. Get men out of women's sports and bathrooms. Here. Get them out. Border protection and deportation of illegal aliens who have committed a crime. He's also for lower interest rates. He believes that Trump will end conflicts in the Middle East and Russia, Ukraine. He believes in religious freedom. Everybody's got to love that about Trump. He's a man of God, Jesus Christ. Protection of the First and Second Amendment, wonderful. Power back to the people, not the elites. Love that. Merit-based system, not DEI. Okay,
What is that? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Let's keep going.
Okay, smaller but more efficient government.
Bring in the Doge, old Elon, hey, Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah.
If that's not a plug for Doge, oh my God. I laughed when I saw that, man. That's funny as.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll keep going.
Healthier country. 70% of fighting age men are not physically eligible for military service. Okay, cool.
Hair transparent. Oh, sorry, I read that as hair transplant. No, fair, transparent elections.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
That one hit.
Fair, transparent elections. No tax on tips, overtime and social security. What's your stance on tipping people?
Oh, get rid of the bloody tipping system. Pay people properly and get rid of it.
Yeah. Pay them
And,
properly.
well, don't get rid of it. People can tip if they feel like someone's done really above and beyond. That's what tipping should be. Not just for everyone that works there, just because
Not
they
to-
served us, so we got to pay your
Yeah.
bill, and they don't care about the service anyway.
Okay. School choice. Okay, cool. Release the RFK files and Epstein list. Now you're talking. Why have they not released
Has
that
the
list?
Epstein list? I thought the Epstein list came out.
Well, I think it has a lot of names that have
Or
been
the
to the
flight
island.
logs,
But just
whatever
because
it was,
a
yeah.
lot of people have been to the island doesn't mean they've committed anything wrong. Where are the videotapes?
Whatever happened to Ghislaine Maxwell as well? How did that get swept under the rug?
Yeah.
Notice how these things just disappear?
I think she's selling with P. Diddy and R. Kelly. I think they're all in one cell, the three of them conspiring. Kamala, and to finish it, he says, Kamala is a Marxist with the IQ of a fence pole.
Of a fence pole. Of all things. A freaking fence pole. Love it. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yvette Loy. My opinion, Trump, immature, liar, petrified dog shit. Speaking against Puerto Ricans, talking about a man's balls, people dying on January 6th, and so much more. Donald Trump, my opinion, you asked.
I think you need to look into January 6th a little bit more, Yvette. But that's her honest opinion. And,
What was January 6th?
the insurrection, wasn't it? Where they stormed Capitol Hill.
The Capitol thing, yeah.
You know, where he tried to call the police and Pelosi sort of let it go through to the keeper?
Well, Andrew Reese responds, the only person that died on January 6th was a Trump supporter. She was murdered by Nancy Pelosi's security. I didn't understand a lot of it, but that's got nothing to do with policy.
I find that kind of cool that Trump would talk about another bloke's balls. Like,
That's what talk about another bloke's balls.
Well, that's what she's saying. Talking about a man's balls.
Like what? Our balls aren't important?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's cool. I
Yeah.
talk about yours.
We-
Do you ever talk about mine?
Only we've spoken about him a few times on the
Yeah.
podcast, haven't we?
Yeah, it's a man thing to do. It's a man thing to do, Yvette.
You're not sitting on him today, are you?
Ask your husband. I guarantee he would agree with us.
Okay, Dan Shaw, Trump, and sends a bit of a photo here. They held power for 12 out of the last 16 years, yet they still blame him for everything wrong with the US, while claiming they know how to fix it.
Oh, that's that laugh. Can you hear it? That gaggle.
Very interesting thing there. They've held power for 12 out of the last 16 years, still blaming Trump for everything that's wrong with the US, while claiming they know how to fix it.
They're deluded.
What have you fixed this last 4 years?
Look at Obama, his smug smile.
Ryan Hausenger, that's just another... We'll put that up on the screen. We won't go through it. Just another cost of living, showing how everything's gone up. Andrew Silic. We have more interest in American politics than 90% of American people. Do you reckon... I reckon Americans, don't they love this stuff?
Yeah. They're patriots all the way. Americans.
I wouldn't
Absolutely.
agree with that. But yeah, I think we have to show some sort of interest
I
in
think
it over here.
It seems that more American people are going to be voting at this election than ever before, and I think that's a testament to Trump. And there's a syndrome, I don't know what it's called, but it's those that don't admit to liking Trump and don't admit to voting for Trump to their friends and peers, yet they will be voting for Trump behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a lot.
Yeah, that's one thing, to be loud and outspoken about it as well. Yeah.
Well, people have just been getting shamed by the Democrats,
Yeah.
or threatened in some cases.
Yeah.
It's really been quite bad.
Well, there you go, mate. That was a vast, I would even say 99% of that was
There were only a
for
couple
Trump
of statements.
there was
back
less
Kamala.
than I thought for Harris there. Thanks so much for your input, guys. Very nail-biting time of year. By the time this comes out, we're 2-3 days out now. So I'll be watching.
And again, I'm glad we touched on this. You know, again, we're dummies. We don't really know. You know, we're in the middle of Australia. We're in Queensland having a great time. But it will have an impact on the rest of the world and us indirectly. So it was something I'm glad that we at least touched on. We did our own poll, and it just seems that it's a 90-10, not even that. It's all MAGA. It's all Trump.
Published that in the news articles. Our poll was 90. Let's just say 90. Let's just call it 90.
Yeah.
Benefit of the doubt for them.
Yeah. That's a big one. No, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thanks for your input, guys. Let's see what happens, eh?
Before we go any further, just a quick shout out to our major sponsor, Monkey Tree Brewing, for supplying all of our beer here at 4 o'clock somewhere. Just a reminder that they are one of the bigger brewers in Brisbane. What are they? Pale ale, lagers, spirits right across the board, including ciders. Do look them up online. They supply keg hire.
You can have a tap in your own house. They supply these fridges with taps on top. Have it in your own house. Mate, selection of over 30 beers, and in total there's about 50 different selections to choose from. Have it in your house on tap. Try something new. We're going to be going in there next week to try a few more. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, yes. Can't wait.
Thank you, Monkey Tree. Apart from Harris, we're going into beef of the week. Let's end this thing on a light note today.
Yeah. If there's one thing I hate more than the thought of Kamala Harris getting in as president, it's brushing my teeth.
Okay.
I can't stand it. I've never liked it.
Just the inconvenience hours.
Oh, everything. Look.
Yeah, no, it is annoying. It's like,
mate, I've
brush me bloody teeth.
I've hated it since I was a kid. I've never liked it, and even now, and it's almost like, and don't get me wrong, I brush my teeth twice a day religiously because I have to, and I don't want to go to the dentist, but I go kicking and screaming, and it's almost like my teeth are holding a knife to my neck. Like I have no choice. Like sometimes I'll go to bed, I haven't brushed my teeth, and it's like my teeth are talking to me going, yeah.
Then they get the chalkies and it's like, oh.
Yeah, I'm going to give you holes. It's like they've got leverage against me, and I always brush my teeth, but not once have I ever brushed my teeth and enjoyed it. Why is it such a chore? And that 3 minutes of my life I will never get back. And I'm staring at myself in the mirror, and I'm just not enjoying it whatsoever. I do enjoy
just not enjoying it whatsoever.
Yeah, not at all. I do enjoy the feeling, obviously, afterwards, but I just need to be honest in saying that brushing teeth is the most tedious, boring time you'll never get back.
Why don't you just chuck the TV on or like do something while you're doing it then?
You name one person that you know that enjoys, but that can't wait to get in there and get the toothbrush and brush their teeth.
Me, after a night of drinking and I pass out in bed without brushing my teeth, the next morning I cannot wait.
Yeah, but that's gross. I always brush my teeth, but that's gross.
After you've passed out.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
you're blind drunk, you pass out on the bed. And
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But even then, I don't
You
enjoy
wake
it.
up in the morning, the chalky's just the bad taste on your tongue. You're like, I need.
Yeah.
So I'll
Well-
get up at like 4 a.m. as soon as I wake up.
Well,
Before I piss, I'm brushing my teeth.
Yeah, okay. Well, the other thing is too, I know all of it. My kids have electric toothbrushes, but I'm sure that they use mine. Now, when I use mine, I pull the head off.
Sharing toothbrushes are never. No,
I-
never be doing that.
Yeah, no, you don't share. My kids don't care; they'll just grab anything. But I pull the head off of mine and I wash the inside. I thoroughly clean it. I know that somebody's using mine because it'll be wet when I go to use it, and then I'll pull the head off and it's still got like toothpaste inside it. It's like, oh, who's using my tooth? Who's brushing their teeth with my toothbrush that I hate brushing my teeth with anyway?
Well, is Danny pissed off at you? Maybe if you've
be
just
Danny.
come off the back of an argument, maybe she's just dunked it in the toilet, put it back.
Oh, that's the other thing. That is the other thing.
What, your wife dunking your
No,
toothbrush in the
our
toilet?
toothbrushes are in the toilet. Well, it's all in one big area. You can't tell me that germs don't float from the toilet when, say, somebody does a number 2.
Oh, see, now we're getting to something that I think about a lot.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Where am I going?
So poo particles.
Poo particles.
So, yeah, I've thought about this way too much in my life, by the way. I think about this almost daily. But if you smell a fart, you're basically just inhaling poo. Like it's literally just micro poo particles and you're just inhaling that.
I have heard that, yeah.
So why is it when people are like, oh, that stinks, everyone else in the room goes... Did someone fart?
It's a human reflex.
Yeah, it's like, why does everyone want to have a
Because
sniff?
what we
just
judge
to be
it.
so devastated on what they smelt.
No, built into our brains since we were a little kid and Dad used to play the fart game, is a meter where we judge scents. And there's no other scent that we prefer to judge than the fart. So instantly, even before you go, oh, that's awful, we'll smell it. And then it registers on the scale and say, oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
So you could fart right now. I ain't holding my breath till I've had a whiff.
I've pushed a couple through during this podcast. Yeah, I just...
See, I did it then. I just went to have a sniff.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why do we do that?
No, it's an automatic
I
reaction.
farted. I want to smell it now.
Yeah.
But I know I don't want to smell it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think about poo particles way too much.
It's a topic that I'll always
and
laugh
yes,
at.
then I agree with you. They are definitely you're definitely getting poo particles on your toothbrush. If it's next to the toilet, if you do a fucking bomber in the in the toilet, stinks out the bathroom, everywhere you can smell that thing, poo particles have landed.
They say you're meant to cover your toothbrush.
In my uneducated professional opinion.
Yeah, no, you're meant to cover it and protect it. That's what they say, and who does that anyway? But
Do you always rinse your toothbrush before?
I clean it thoroughly before and after. Yeah, but it's probably one of the things I hate about it.
It's weird. Some people don't do that, eh?
Yeah.
Don't give it a rinse.
I'll-
I wouldn't go. It doesn't sound like I'll go as crazy as you, but I'll quickly dab it under water before putting toothpaste.
Yeah. No,
on.
I brush twice a day and I clean it thoroughly. But I've always, since I was a kid, hated brushing my teeth. That's it in a nutshell. And I wish they would come up with a better way of human beings being able to brush their teeth. Say we put on a mouth guard and it does it automatically for 5 seconds.
While we're on the topic of things I think about way too much, I need to bring up another one. And I think about this daily as well. Wiping your ass. And like the more I've gone on in life, I'm like, I need a bidet. I need a bidet. Wiping your butt with toilet paper is freaking disgusting.
Yeah.
Let me put it to you this way. Would you poo on your hand and then do you think wiping it with toilet paper... are you happy just wiping it off with toilet paper? That's what we do on a daily. And I think about this every single time now. I almost have to have a shower. I've thought about this way too much in my life, I swear. But the more I think about it, the more disgusted I am in my entire life.
Can I give you a tip? Wet wipes. You go dry.
But where do you chuck them? You can't chuck them in the toilet.
Absolutely you can. You go dry, then you go wet wipe, and then you
No
go...
wonder you've constantly got plumbers at your place,
And then
mate.
you go dry again. So dry, wet wipe, dry, wet wipe, dry.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. If you don't have a bidet.
See, wet wipes are a better option, but that stuff will clog your pipes, so I don't recommend that.
I think there's wet wipes you can get specifically built for toilets. I haven't seen them or bought them. I just go wet wipe. And you only need one.
But just imagine
I mean, how
poo on your hand.
you only need one.
And then you just get a bit of toilet paper and
It depends.
do like 3 wipes. 1, 2, 3. Now you just... You know it's there. You can smell it still, and it starts to get crusty. That's what we're doing every day.
No.
Oh,
Wet wipe.
it's not even my beef of the week, but yeah. Oh, I'm disgusted thinking about
As
it.
to how many wet wipes you need depends on how big your ass is.
How many wet wipes you need?
Yeah, it's all down to surface area, bud. I use one.
Well, you got a massive butthole, like kind of stretched out a bit, don't you? So
How many do you think you'd use?
what? To be honest, every shit's different. Sometimes
you've got more surface area down than the That's a 2 to 3 wet wipe sheet of paper.
do you ever get those ones where you need absolutely? You could literally just go, and you're done. Like your wipe is like, wow, now this one there's nothing.
Oh, they're
Cleanest poo I've ever done. Swap. And then you get the ones where you're going for freaking half an hour,
like-
and there's still just a little streak. You're like, when does this end? How do I keep wiping and still?
It's like you're wiping a felt pen.
Yes. It's like, how does that happen? Sometimes you'll be wiping for ages.
Yeah.
Other times you'll
Have
have
you
clean as
gotten to
whistle.
a point where you've wiped 10 times and it's still there and you just go,
I've
okay,
given up. I jump in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well then so
This is why we need. Oh man, trust me, my next house is bidets in every toilet.
Shout out to any companies that can.
I want one of those toilets with a built-in one. I don't want a separate thing. Just like a built-in. Just
I want no, mate. You know what you need to get? One of those. I think they're Japanese toilets. So they got the bidet. They got the seat that turns around and hygienes itself. They've
that
got
turns around.
the whole seat. The whole seat turns around.
What's the point of that?
It wipes. There's a wiper back here, and it wipes the seat when you're done.
Yeah, see,
It's got
I'm all for this stuff. Hey, I'm all for it.
Mate, it's got a radio in the handrest. It's got a seat.
I don't need the radio. Don't need the seat warmer.
in winter.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No. Speeds me up. All right, let's get this done.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a big power push.
Yeah. I find it impossible to go to the toilet without taking my phone. I've tried it.
Oh, yeah, phone's a given.
I've tried it, and I'll sit there and I'll go. I get withdrawals.
People that frown upon it are living in denial. You all do it. Comment down below right now if you're watching this on the shitter.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. But does that mean like we're addicted to? Obviously, it's an addiction.
No, it's just your quiet time. Mate, we've got busy lives. We've got little ones.
Yeah.
This is our moment of peace.
We're busy.
And this isn't new.
We're flat.
We
out.
used to do the newspapers. Now it's phones. Nothing's changed.
Well said. Anyway, look, my beef. I'm wrapping it up. Toothbrushes, come out with a better option for us, please. Mouth guards or something that has a mouthwash, automatic. All of that. I don't know that.
Dentures.
Diddy probably enjoys brushing his teeth.
I'm
But
sick of talking about Diddy. I'm done with him, eh? Let's be done with Diddy.
okay, well that's my beef.
Yeah. I'll go one. It's just does my head in. I'm sure it does everyone's head. You know when you're driving, you got shoes on, then you get an itchy foot right in the middle. Itchy foot driving. Holy. Happened to me yesterday.
That's your
and
beef?
I'm literally on the highway, just there, itchy foot. You can't pull over. You can't stop. I'm going 100 k's an hour. Put it on cruise control. I'm just sitting there, just stomping my foot on the ground, hoping to God that I
it
get that
bad?
spot. I hope I stomp that part where it's itchy.
Yeah.
And then next minute you're stomping the pedal, just going.
But do you also get that itch that moves? Like you think
I'm itchy now talking about it.
You think you got it, and it's like that's not even the spot.
And the ones that are like in the middle, so it's not on the surface of like here. It's like itchy down in your bone or something. Oh, I swear it always happens in my foot like that.
Yeah.
When I'm driving.
Yeah.
And when you got shoes on, man, tied up laces, especially when you're wearing like high tops or something, and they're just ridiculous to get on and off. You got no chance. I'm like just kicking everything in sight, trying to wiggle my foot around.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the worst thing in the world.
That is awful. That's a good beef. I think a lot of people can relate to that. I dated this girl once, and she was a pet lover, and so her car had fleas in it. And whenever you drove a car, it was a really hot little red sports car, and every time you drove it, you just have to put up with the fleas, and you could feel them jumping on your feet and everything. And
Yeah, I couldn't stand it.
yeah, it was annoying, but her car was better than mine. I prefer to drive hers, you know. But I was driving down a street. It was pouring rain, and I looked up and this car was turning right. I saw that its blinker was on. I went, okay, it's turning right. Anyway, at that point, a flea bit me. So I thought, okay, well, that car's turning. And I bent over to scratch. I'm scratching. By the time I looked up, because I kind of timed the scratch, by the time I looked up, the car had not turned. There was no car coming the other way, by the way.
No.
It was a P plater or an L plater in a, it was a learner, a L or a P plater. They hadn't done the turn. By that
Tell
time,
me you've just gone straight up.
in the rain,
Oh,
I
no.
have braked hard and just planed. Like the car, it almost felt like it sped up and just smashed into the back, wrote this car off. Now, I got out of the car in the rain. This is back in my early 20s, furious with the driver, but it was my fault. All because of a flea. All because of an itch.
Guys, if you're out there been in an accident for a stupid reason, what is the stupidest reason you've gotten into a car accident?
You'd love to hear it.
Yeah, let's hear some stories.
Surely you can't get anything worse than
A flea on your foot.
Yeah, shout out to Laney. I should be watching this, Laney. I'm so sorry I wrote your car off.
All right. I think we're just going to wrap it up there. This one was supposed to be dedicated a bit more to the election. Bit of lighthearted end. Should we just wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Oh, it's 4 o'clock somewhere. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock somewhere.
I just farted.